I found the ICA after I'd been in the service for a long time. I'd been in iRacing for well over a decade and spent most of my time in NASCAR series, a lot of fixed racing for the most part, and really just got to a point in my iRacing career where I really wanted to get involved in open setup racing versus fixed, partially because I was just looking for a little higher level of competition, maybe a little cleaner driving and maybe get away from some of the challenges that go along with fixed racing on the service. And it took me a while as I was really searching out leagues because I kind of had a very specific thing I was looking for. A, I wanted to be an established league. B, I just really wanted clean, quality drivers to be racing around. And once I found the ISCA, I found out really quick that it was going to check all those boxes, and I've been with the ISCA ever since. I think the things I like the most about the ISCA is it's a developmental league, but it's also a league that's got some veteran drivers. And I think really what I was looking to do was try to surround myself with some people to better my talent, my skill, and my craft. And that's one thing the ISCA has really delivered. It's got great quality drivers. You learn how to race in close quarters around some of these other people. And I think the other thing, when you do look at the developmental side, once I joined the ICA, my I rating has soared, my safety rating is better than it's ever been. And it's also really great to see drivers that join our league, really excel over time, some of which stay with the league and some that maybe move on to some bigger things, which is really exciting. We have a great history of developing drivers. We have a great alumni list. But I just really enjoy, participating in the league and just continue to get better each week that goes by. Yeah, the competition in the ICA is awesome. I think a lot of us talk about it, each week of just how blessed we are to have such a high level of driving capabilities and just a quality group of drivers overall. And I think that's just still, I think the thing I like the most about the ICA. You build a lot of friendships, a lot of camaraderie. We're really competitive on Thursday and Saturday nights, but it's really fun also after the race to kind of review the race start to finish. And we do a lot of coaching about what's working, what's not working. Not saying we give away all of our secrets, but I think anyone that joins it, there's a common theme. They get better each week, their I rating goes up. We see them in strength of field races over time, week in, week out. And that's just something that's really fun. Even though we compete, we really appreciate the league we participate in. And I think in most cases, we're highly competitive with some of the best and cleanest drivers on the service. And if you like long green flag runs, we don't have a lot of cautions in our races. We tend to have green flag pit stops. But those are just some things that I really enjoy about the league the most, is the quality of the competition, the lack of cautions, and just the long runs that really leads to some really awesome racing. Yeah, I think people that should join the ICA are people like myself. When I go back a few years ago and I was really looking to up my game and get involved in open setup league racing, for so long I just wasn't involved in that because I just didn't, I didn't seek it out, but I really didn't also know how to get started. And once I started doing research, it was a really easy choice that the ICA was a place I really wanted to be and get involved with. And all those things I talked about earlier have happened to me, from improving I rating, improving my skill. And, I'm someone that I really enjoy the ICA. I'll probably stay there, but don't think that, if you're coming to the ICA, that it's something long-term. In some cases, you can find a long-term home like a lot of us, but we develop drivers, and ultimately we'd like to see our drivers participate for a period of time and hopefully move their way up the ranks, whether that be into Road to Pro or Contender Series, or hopefully get to the Coke Series. That's really the goal of what we want to be, is an established league with great drivers, but also a league that's going to develop drivers into bigger and better things.
Hello and welcome everyone to the ISCA Saturday Cup Series here at Martinsville Speedway. Now, of course, we know this is one of the trickiest tracks on the schedule. Of course, the paperclip half-mile Martinsville. And I am, of course, my name is Brian Britt, and I'm joined in the booth by none other than Big Al. How are you doing tonight, Big Al?
Doing pretty good, Brian. Excited to be here once again back at Martinsville. This is going to prove to be as exciting as that race that we had on Thursday. A little bit of a smaller field, but I think it's going to be just as equally exciting.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we recall from Thursday, we saw a lot of some hectic racing. Of course, we also saw a lot of green flag racing as well. Brian Johnson, of course, was able to win that race. So I'm curious to see who's going to be able to come home with the trophy here tonight. Of course, there are some guys that did race on Thursday that are here as well here tonight, including Darren Mullins, Randy Mullins, and of course Kenny Powell, Gary Adamson. You know, all those drivers put in a lot of work on Thursday, and we'll have to see if they were able to learn anything, Big Al, and maybe put that into action tonight, right?
Jose Acosta was also there on Thursday.
That's true. Didn't mean to leave him out.
Yeah, so, and I mean, a lot of those guys learned a lot of lessons. Some of those lessons were a little bit, more difficult to swallow. I think we had 8 total cautions in that race. So definitely going to see if this one is probably going to trend a little bit differently. But, Brian, I think it's going to be I do believe Chris Rivera is probably going to be a favorite to win this thing.
Well, he always is. I mean, that is something that you could probably bet money on that Chris Rivera is going to be the favorite. But we'll see if anybody could come out here and surprise. I mean, we saw, I know in practice, Randy Mullins had a lot of speed. And, of course, he was fastest in practice there for a little bit. I'm not sure at the end who ended up being at the top of the board, but we'll see how he's able to do. I think he's one of the guys that I'm really watching here tonight. Of course, he definitely had a lot of speed as well on Thursday. Jose Acosta was one that struggled, I'd say, on Thursday. But we'll have to wait and see if he's going to be able to bring something to the table. Kendall LeBron, he's a new veritable in a way, so we'll have to wait and see how he does as well. He showed some significant speed in practice as well. Let's take a look at the points here for tonight. Well, actually, let's take a look at the race facts first. Of course, with that on the screen here, 250 lamps, 50 and 115 are the stages, of course. 5 sets of tires, 4 actually down in the pits, and tires did seem to matter somewhat. Didn't seem to matter as much as I think we suspected, but they did still matter. They did have some weight there for sure. 155 laps of fuel. That is not going to be something we're going to talk about hardly at all tonight, fuel. I don't think that that really came up at all on Thursday. So I don't think that's going to be something we're going to really have to really pay much attention to because that last fuel run is, I do believe, over that allotted. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it could come up. We'll have to wait and see, though. Now, let's take a look at the point.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about fuel a lot tonight just because you said that.
Well, looking at the Cup Series points at the moment, of course, Chris Rivera at the top of the board with 3 wins out of 3 races. He has been just like you said, the favorite. I mean, the stats speak for themselves. He's got 29 points over Kenny Powell right now. Powell has gotten 3 top 5, so he's been consistent. Jose Acosta, he's got 3 top 5s as well. He's in 3rd. Greg Wyszynski, don't see him in the grid here tonight, so he might be losing some of those points here. He's in 4th. Frank Flores, don't see him as well. He's in 5th. Gary Adamson, he might move up, I think, a spot or 2, because he is in competition, and he is guaranteed essentially a top 10 here tonight. Kendall LeBron sits in 7th right now. Joey Preby 8th. He's not here as well. Austin Derbyshire not here. And 10th, Paul Olson. Paul Olson is out there, so he should be able to gain maybe a couple spots as well. Pull up the Super Cup points. Of course, Chris Rivera, 6 wins out of 7 races, which is really, really good. Jose Acosta sits in 2nd. Kenny Powell 3rd. Greg Wyszynski 4th. And Kendall LeBron is in 5th in the points right now. Of course, there is a lot of wiggle room when it comes to 2nd and 3rd right now. I think that Kenny Powell, if he has a successful night here tonight, could jump up to the 2nd spot. But with that, I think now is the perfect time to step away and play our national anthem. We'll be right back.
Racers, start your engines!
Hey everybody, my name is Warren Maddox. I am the president of Ultimate Experience Outdoors. Our mission, we are dedicated to taking veterans, first responders, youth, and Gold Star family members on outdoor excursions across the country.
Support for our mission has many forms, from camp cooks to the great storytellers, some buddies with the band, maybe you just want to build a campfire and sit around and listen. Nothing goes unnoticed.
Camaraderie is reborn. The acceptance among the men and women that took an oath.
Whether it was decades ago or recently renewed, but never forgotten.
If you feel like you could help us, please visit our website, www.uxonation.org.
Or there, you can register to hunt, sign up to sponsor an event, or even donate to us so we can continue to execute our mission.
Oh my gosh, I'm so comfortable, bro. We get a hug. What have you done, Jim?
We need your help to hold the line once again.
Ow. Ew. Ow. Ew.
Want relief from tough pain without the tough taste? Try Goody's Cool Orange. Goody's fast, Goody's delicious. Because pain relief shouldn't be a pain to take. Goody's flavors, taking the pain out of pain relief.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we have the grid set for this evening's action. Randy Mullins is going to be starting on the pole. I talked about how he was fastest in practice. Looks like he's fastest in qualifying as well, and we know how important track position was on Thursday. Chris Vera starts in that second-place position. Of course, third place is going to be Kendall LeVron. Kenny Powell starts in fourth place. Fifth place, Gary Adamson. Jose Acosta qualifies in sixth place. Seventh place, Darren Mullins, and Paul Olson rounds out this 8-car field. Of course, really the qualifying effort's not that dissimilar from each other. I mean, fastest time, of course, was 19.4, and I think slowest time, of course, was Darren Mullins with a 19.8, but everybody in between is fairly close on times there, Big Al.
Yeah, absolutely. Expected to be a pretty close field here. At least, 5 or 6 cars are going to be relatively close together. But the big thing tonight, everybody's going to get stage points. I mean, that's a big deal here for us. This season goes, even though it is early on in its inception. Tonight's going to be a big points night for a lot of these drivers that are here on this circuit this evening.
Yeah, for sure, especially for the guys. It's going to be a big points night for the guys that are here. And the guys that aren't, they're going to definitely, I think, feel the weight of not showing up here tonight. Hopefully everything is okay with everybody out there. I know Greg Wachinski, usually makes his way out here to the field, but looks like not going to be able to make it here tonight. So, yeah, the drivers that aren't here, Joey Preby, those guys definitely going to be missing out on some much-needed points. Martinsville, I guess, an intimidating racetrack. But as we said on Thursday, though, Big Al, Goody's is the sponsor for tonight's race, and I think these guys are going to need one. And we talked about 8 cautions on Thursday. That's not that many when you think a 250-lap race, because but, there were some cautions, and it was quite, I'd say, dramatic. I don't think tonight's going to be as dramatic, but then again, it still could be.
A lot of those cautions were self-spin, so you still have a 1 in 8 probability or possibility, that we could still have at least a couple of cautions outside of those stage breaks. Lights out on the pace car. He's going to be getting out the way And then it'll be up to Randy Mullins to get us going here, Brian.
That it will. And, of course, we saw on Thursday that the top line was not the place to be, really, except for maybe on the restarts if you get a good enough of a jump. So we'll have to see how Chris Severa takes it as the green flag is out for the first time here in the ISCA. And Severa definitely with a good restart there. Kendall LeVron right on the back bumper of Randy Mullins. Look at Severa go on the top. He's still side by side. Gets a good run off the exit. Look at this. He's going to make a pass for the lead on the top and not able to get clear. Randy Mullins still side by side as Severa, gets a little bit of a wiggle there. He's slow off the corner. He hits the wall.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to play well, especially with this new damage model. He was trying to do everything he could in order to make that pass stick, Brian, but he just unfortunately stuck it up against the wall. So we're going to have to watch and monitor to see how that's going to affect his handling characteristics here this evening.
Yeah, he almost was able to do it, too. I mean, he was up on the top and got clear for just a moment, but right as he was clear, Randy Mullins was able to get that run on the entry as Randy Mullins has taken the lead. Of course, Kendall LeVron looking really good right now. He's about 3/10 back from Mullins and getting a good run through the center. I think Kendall LeVron's going to be one to really keep an eye on out here tonight as Chris Severa trying to recapture the positions he just lost.
Yeah, LeBron was definitely not trying to yield that position as he was stuck. Almost like a dog and like a tick and a hound dog there, right there to the back of Randy Mullins. And now you see Chris Severa now trying to do the same as he's putting his nose right there trying to get around the 24 Kenny Powell. Now he knows how much time he lost, and I guarantee you, if that car is going to be handling it any way decent, he's going to try to get that Camaro back up front here.
Yeah, I think he is, and you saw that Kenny Powell kind of just gave the position up. Don't want to be on the bad end of Chris Severa. And Chris Severa definitely has recaptured a lot of the time that he lost. He's closing in quickly on Kendall LeVron, but LeVron is putting a lot of pressure on Randy Mullins right now, and that could be as a result of him seeing that 62 kind of coming up in the rear view.
Yeah, we did see both Randy and Darren both have pretty spirited runs. Randy had the better of the two on Thursday. Now, I definitely think he's got a pretty good handle on this track and how it plays out as well as how it handles. But Kendall LeVron, he is the wild card here. We have not seen how he is going to handle this thing. And with Chris Severa slowly reeling him in, I think it's going to get a little bit sporty up front.
Yeah, I think we just saw Darren Mullins able to get by Gary Adamson and moves up into that 6th place position. You talked about Randy Mullins and Darren Mullins. Well, Darren was not too happy with his son, Randy. As you remember, there was a little bit of bumping. Oh, there goes Kenny LeVron around right in front of the field. Kenny Powell also loses it.
A lot of cars definitely getting caught up in that there. Unfortunately, Brian, I do believe that even though that contact might have been incidental, it doesn't take much for it to add up. We've seen that happen with the new damage model, as well as hear a lot of drivers talk about it. Kendall LeVron having no help right here at all, just seems to kind of got out of it a little bit. And when that occurred, I mean, they were scattering like roaches with the lights on. Kenny Powell was trying to do everything he could to go low.
Yeah, that's definitely, Kendall had no help there. He just kind of lost it on the exit. I think got onto the gas just a little bit too hard. And it can happen.
Yeah, Chris Severa and Kenny Powell now, both those two guys will be coming down pit road. And I can assume this is going to be to get some of that damage fixed.
Yeah, I'm looking at Kenny Powell. I think he got into the inside wall trying to avoid that. See, he kind of, boom, little contact there. That's actually a substantial hit to his left front.
Yeah, it was. And I tell you, a couple of weeks ago, that probably would have definitely been a broken toe link. But with this new damage model, it's going to be all sorts of surprises. So who knows what kind of bucket of junk Kenny's guys found once he pulled into the pit road. Notice he is still down there. Going to be getting down and away here pretty soon if he's going to want to try to stay on the lead lap. But it's really not that much of a concern right now, Brian, because there is going to be a stage caution coming up here pretty soon. So any driver that does find himself a lap down, which we don't have any contenders for that, they would be able to benefit from that lucky dog.
Yeah, for sure. But with the amount of cars we have right now in this field, I think that makes the likelihood of a caution less. So, you can't really always guarantee you're going to get that lucky dog. So I think that's why Kenny Powell is fighting so hard to remain in front of Randy Mullins to make sure he keeps that lap. Because, I mean, of course, we did just have an issue there, and I don't think we're at the last of that.
Well, the caution is going to come out for the stage break. So
That's
worst
true.
case scenario, if he get it there. I think the biggest thing though that these guys are going to have to contend with is, I think we still got a high probability of cautions, because most of the cautions that we did see, they were self spins, and I mean
that's what we just saw as well.
And we've seen a lot of contact thus far, even though this is kind of the first quarter, if you know what I mean.
And look at that, father and son side by side as the pace car takes the left turn down pit road. Green flag soon to wave once again. Will Darren Mullins get his revenge here tonight?
Yeah, they got a little sporty there last week as well.
100%. On Thursday, they definitely did. As Randy Mullins gets the restart, he's going to get cleared for that first spot. Darren Mullins slides down in front of Gary Adamson, gets a little bit tight on the exit. Also, Paul Olson falling to the rear of the field. I think he might have gotten to the a little kiss on that outside wall. Chris Severa now up to third.
I think Paul Olson was just kind of sliding up there to get to the back of the field. I don't know if that was anything that was other than intentional. Green flag
Chris Severa.
Yeah, and look at the 42 Jose Acosta does. He is sticking his nose on the inside of Kendall LeBron. Those two getting real cozy. Jose diving it in real deep. Going to see if LeBron can make it stick up top. Still side by side for those two. It's Chris Severa now starting to bow up on the 64 of Darren Mullins.
Yeah, we know Jose had his fair share of controversy, I'd say, on Thursday. He's going to be definitely trying to see if he can't keep it a little bit cleaner tonight. Oh, a little wiggle off the corner, but still able to keep it pointed in the right direction. Still side by side for that, I do believe, fifth spot.
They're not yielding, man, and there's going to Powell. He's going to sneak up the back door there and kind of get back up into the racing action. Whoa. Kendall pounds the back of Jose Acosta. That was kind of probably out of frustration. Didn't do him any favors there, Brian. So I think that's probably he just punched himself in the face.
Yeah, and we saw on Thursday as well that bottom, that I'd say curb, if you will. Not an apron, it's a curb. It definitely raises up off the asphalt. If you hit that, you're going to find yourself definitely having some handling woes. And we saw that, I know, with Greg Wachinski on Thursday when he hit it and definitely had some big issues there.
Yeah, definitely. That little bit of concrete there will definitely change your trajectory.
100%. Randy Mullins, though, in control. Of course, Chris Severa has worked up into second place. He's about 7/10 back from Randy Mullins and trying to close in. We'll have to wait and see if he's going to be able to do that. Of course, Randy Mullins has led every lap thus far as we're 19 laps into the competition. You see, yeah, Chris is closing in quite quickly. He was at 7/10. Now it's about 6/10. And now 5/10. He's closing in.
Yeah, slowly he's gonna make his way up to the front. But a lot of racing left to go, man. And I'm just telling you, there's going to be a lot of people popping their Achilles here tonight. I got a feeling.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially with the way the amount that you use the brake pedal at Martinsville. I mean, it can make your left foot quite sore. I mean, you talk about the Achilles heel. I mean, and your ankle. That could be very sore, especially if you competed in on Thursday. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these drivers might not have recovered from that quite yet.
Jose putting a bumper to the 36 of Gary Adamson. That battle right there going on is going to be for what is fourth place right now.
Yeah, Adamson leaving just enough room that Jose thinks he could probably sneak in underneath him. This could be a point of contention, but it looks like Gary Adamson, yeah, he's having a hard time keeping it on the bottom. Usually that's a symptom of not backing your corners up enough.
Yeah, but Jose has got that deer right there in the rear, and so Gary is feeling the pressure of that all day long, and I think that's adding to, his anxiety just a little bit.
100%. We also see Kenny Powell getting really close to the rear end of Kendall LeBron. Definitely was close enough almost to touch him as Kendall catches up to Jose. So Jose is definitely really wanting to do something with this 36 before he gets this pressure from the 28. Look at the 28 go.
It's a little bit of payback coming here, I got a feeling. Yeah, I said it, Jose. I'm sorry, but Kendall thinks that you got one coming, and there he is on the inside trying to make it work. Those two are going to be a little bit close for comfort there, maybe a little door banging, but they're getting ready to mix it up again coming into 3 here. Kenny Powell's going to be sitting back in the rear. He's going to stick his nose in on the inside of Jose, trying to take a little bit of advantage of the run that Kendall had going on.
And we should also update everybody that Chris Severa has taken the lead as well. How about that? He got by Randy Mullins. So, and you know, once you give Chris Severa the lead, it's going to be hard to wrangle that thing back from him.
Yeah, definitely good to see he was actually able to get down, get his damage fixed, get back out here. Look at Kendall LeBron. He has got a run going now as he's pulling up to the.
Oh, and there goes Gary Adamson around.
Hate to see that,
Yellow
man.
flag.
Doesn't look like there's going not a lot of harm, not a lot of foul. I don't think anything really much going on there with his car. I think he just got out there.
Kendall getting past him here. And just, yeah, you just got out in that area, that danger zone up in the middle of the track. And just spun him around. But luckily he didn't hit anything, so he should be fine.
Yep, should be fine. Oh, pit road, really busy, though. This is interesting here. Lap 28 of, this is going to be 50 here in the first stage. But everybody coming down pit road looks like the only car elected to stay out. 24 Kendall LeBron, what are you thinking here? Is this a mistake?
I think it's a good call. No, I don't think it's a mistake at all. I feel like the way we saw it on Thursday, we saw some drivers that, stayed out 115 laps. They were out there, didn't pit in stage one. So, I think it could be a strategy that works out. These guys pitting these extra times, they're using up those tires. And tires are, even though they're not as important as you'd see at maybe Richmond, I think they still are still valuable.
Well, I think that the fact that we saw so many drivers come down, and we just got to, and Kendall LeBron now even coming down pit road, I think they're telling us something, Brian. I think these drivers are telling us that tires do mean a lot here tonight, because otherwise, why would every car have come down for 4 good years? Because it's really not about that Sunoco race.
Oh, look at that.
It's not about the lifeblood right now. It's really about those good years, and I think the drivers are screaming, man, hey, tires matter.
Yeah, I think they do, but, just think about it, though. 30 laps into this competition right now, and we still have well over 200 to go, Big Al. Splitting it up, if you split it up into 30s, I don't think that's going to work out tire-wise.
Now, this is interesting. Kendall LeBron down on pit road doesn't appear to be taking any tires at all, possibly just fixing damage.
Yeah,
so
of course he did have some issues. Yeah, trying to get some damage repaired here. So that means Kenny Powell in the lead now.
Good to see Powell get up front here. He started this thing all the way back and forth, which is not all the way back. He was mid-pack. But now he's going to be up front, give him a chance to actually lead the way here, see what happens. Now, also going to be interested to see just how long Chris Severa stays out there on that high side. Is he going to treat Powell the same way he did the 64 of Darren Mullins, or is he going to go ahead and drop him back down on the inside?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I think that Chris Severa feels like he's faster. And keep in mind that Kenny Powell on that last stop did not take tires. He spent 6 seconds in his box. So I think that was a fuel-only call. So we'll have to see how he launches here. I think tires are going to be important on the launch. As here we go, green flag back out in the air. Good start from Kenny Powell.
He did stack him up a little bit.
Look at that. Chris Severa on the back bumper, almost touching Kenny Powell. Now, Gary Adamson's on the bottom here. He goes a lap down.
Coming out of pit road right now. Also, Kendall LeBron slowly catching up.
Oh, and look at this. Chris Severa turns Powell. My goodness.
Caution's out again. This is going to be for the third time. And look, it's like I said, even though we have a small number of cars, we still have a high probability of cautions. As always, Big Al, they just keep proving me right up here, Brian.
That they do. Let's take a look at this from a little bit of it almost looked like Chris turned him around on purpose there. I want to look at the cockpit camera before I say anything.
I don't think he turned him on purpose. I just think it was, kind of like the bull and the horn scenario.
You're looking at it right here as he enters and just.
I think Powell was already sidestepping it a little bit, and because his tail end was kind of going out, I think, Severa did let off, but it was really nothing he could do except for just to power on through. To watch that tail end of the 24, it kind of seems like
he was already, I think, loose, but look at the movement, though, from the wheel of Chris Severa, almost like he was trying to shake Powell off.
Okay, you know, you kind of got to get the booger off your finger, if you will.
That you do.
Yeah, that's not going to change a whole lot. Looks like Mr. Adamson was actually able to benefit, get that little lucky dog, so that's going to put him back on the lead lap, which means, hey, we started with 8 on the lead lap. We still got 8 there. We got ourselves just about 15 laps, well, not just about, but 15 laps to go here, remaining in this stage before it's officially in the books. And I'm going to tell you what, Brian, I mean, Paul Osen up to 5th place. Wouldn't that be a story to tell?
Yeah, it would be. I mean, I think we talked a little bit about I talked to Paul Olsen a little bit before the race, and he mentioned to Kenny Powell, he's like, go out there and wreck some people so I can get a podium. So we'll have to see how that kind of turns out. I definitely would love to see Paul Olsen get himself a nice, good finish here tonight, a top 5. That would be just a confidence builder for that 43 for sure. But Chris Severa is your leader at the moment as we get ready to have the pace car lights go out. And as you mentioned, 15 to go, but I do believe when the green flag comes out, we'll have 14 laps to go, and that'll be the conclusion of stage number 1. Now, will Chris Severa be able to keep this lead? He's got Randy Mullins, and Mullins has shown some speed in that second spot.
Yeah, I know, and right now, when the lights go out on the Chevy. I mean, full field of Chevys right here tonight, Brian, and they go all the way through the top 6. The one lone Camry of Kenny Powell finds himself in 7th, and the lonesome Ford of Gary Adamson's all the way back in 8th.
Well, I know you love some Ford, so I'm sure you're rooting for that 36.
Ford. Just not very comforting, though, seeing the domination of that ZR1 out here tonight, though.
Well, hopefully Adamson ain't done here yet. But here we go. Pace car lights have gone out. Now it's going to take a left turn down pit road as we prepare to go green for another time here. Let's see what happens. Do we see another caution before this stage ends, or do these guys finish it out? And there it is. Green flag back out. Randy Mullins with a little bit of wheel spin there.
A lot of bit of wheel spin there as Chris Severa stacking the field up, waiting until he was right at the end of that Geico restart zone, and then he launched. A lot of other drivers starting in first place couldn't quite get that rubber to connect, Brian.
100% as Randy Mullins tries to pass on the top, but he is with his father, Darren, on the bottom, so there's a little bit of family fighting at the moment. Oh. And as I said before, Darren was not too happy with Randy. I mean, they had some choice words. Oh, and there goes Jose turning the 54, and the 54 hits the outside wall hard.
Bad juju right there, man. And what happened was Jose just came in there. I mean, hell, I'll say it, Miley Cyrus style. He came in like a wrecking ball. And when he did, I mean, looks like the 64 got it all. The 54, rather, got it all.
Yeah, unfortunate here. You'll watch right here on your screen as we see Jose Acosta. See, he's underneath right now, I do believe. Oh, goodness gracious. Look at that hit. Pow.
Yeah, I mean, dang. My daddy.
The engine blew immediately after the hit, too. He is done for the night.
Randy having a consecutive, not a good week here at Martinsville for the younger Mullins.
Take another look back.
Darren went out.
Is the father. Randy is the son.
But Darren went out on Thursday. Randy goes out on Saturday. A little bit of a role reversal there.
100%.
So let me ask you a question. Now, you done played this back 5, 6, 100 times. Well, what say you?
Look into the cockpit camera. I want to see exactly. I think Randy did get clear, but I feel like because he was up there on the top and he tried to chop down in front of Jose, I feel like that might be on Randy. I feel like Jose wasn't all the way there yet, but he had a bigger run of momentum there, and it's so hard for him to check that up.
And I'm going to agree with you 100%. I know how much you don't like Jose.
Oh, my word.
I think you gave him a fair shake right there. I do believe that was definitely a situation in which the 54 kind of jumped down almost prematurely there.
I think if he had more room, it would have worked, but he didn't. I mean, that was probably an inch whenever he came down in front of Jose.
That was a very risque move, to say the least. And
Especially,
that was just,
especially for when you got the 42 behind you.
Yeah, Jose doesn't owe him anything on that one. So, unfortunately, Mr. Mullins, I salute you here with this PBR that I'm drinking, and hopefully you'll have better luck next week at Talladega.
Yeah, Talladega. Definitely going to be an interesting one there. Of course, 2.66 miles of pure speed. And, he's much different than Martinsville, so what a transition that is going to be. It looks like green flag is back out. I'm not caught up.
Chris Rivera definitely doing his due diligence in that Geico restart zone. He was playing that thing like a fiddle, getting an excellent run there. And look, Jose Acosta in the 64. Darren Mullen's now going to be battling for P2. The rest of the field really just kind of playing catch-up, man. And Rivera totally Johnny on the spot there on that launch.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe Darren's going to want to a little bit of revenge. But it looks like
he is sideways. He is beating off the wall some way sideways. Caution's going to come out. That is going to be the 5th caution here, and we're still not quite to the first stage. So just 3 cautions off of what we actually experienced on Thursday. And I think, he just kind of got caught in that damn rent cycle right there, Brian.
I'm wondering. I think he just got loose all on his own. Nobody helped him there. He just got loose off the corner.
Got up there in that high marble there, that loose marble, and then he come back into LeBron and kind of bounced him back up into the wall. So, like I said, he just kind of turned into a ping pong ball.
Luckily, he didn't hit too hard, but he definitely dragged on the fence a little bit there.
Oh, he hurt his car.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think he'll be okay. Fight another day.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I just kind of got tobacco onyx going on down here. I talk like I want to.
That's right.
But yeah, he definitely did hurt his car. Maybe not a lot of it, but definitely a little bit. So going to see if he's going to try to bring that thing down to get some TLC or just kind of hold out here, because this stage is going to end. I think we're going to have a green and white checker for the stage.
Yeah, we might even just have one lap. We'll have to wait and see how this kind of works out when the pace car lights go out. When the lights go out on the pace car.
You liked that, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I did like that a lot. And it looks like, one more lap around. I think he might be onto something. I think we're going to have a 2-lap little shootout here. Gary Adamson, though, has headed down pit road. Chris Rivera, your leader. Of course, Jose Acosta I think he's shown a lot more speed than he showed on Thursday. I feel like Jose might have something here.
Oh, yeah. Jose was, some days you're out there just fishing, and some days you're catching. Thursday he was fishing.
Yeah, I think he's catching today. He might have himself a podium in his future. Just depends. Of course, you got Kendall LeBron. He's shown significant speed here tonight. He's going to be starting on the inside. So it's all going to really be up to Jose on how good of a start he gets. And a lot of these guys are going to be a little bit desperate. You got to think that we're getting ready to end this stage. Now, pace car lights did not go out that last time, so I think we're going to have a 1-lap race to the end.
Woohoo!
So just 1 lap. That really drives up, I think, the aggressiveness for these drivers.
Yeah. Come on, baby. Let's make this one stick. Worst case scenario, we'll put a little bit, we can put some Band-Aid and Bondo on it. We'll get it going. But let's just give these people what they came to see. Lights out on a pace car. Going to be getting them doubled up here. And Jose Acosta's going to be on the outside, Brian. I think that's just going to help us stack up this excitement for us here as we're getting down to the end of this stage 1. For those of you just joining us, you're watching the ISCA. This is the Goody's Headache 250, I do believe.
Yeah, 100%. I could use a Goody's. I've had a headache all day long.
Lots of excitement going on. Pace car down and away. Chris Rivera leading the field to the Geico restart zone.
Yeah, we might actually have a situation where the green flag comes out and the yellow immediately comes out as well. Because we've seen that happen before. Green flag is out. Chris Severa crosses the line first. Kendall Levron with a big move to the inside.
Yeah. What Jose Acosta was actually trying to come down on the inside. Those two made a little bit of incidental contact, thus throwing Kenny Powell away to the back in the fray. But just like that, Paul Osen looks like he is going to solidify that top 5 stage win.
Yeah, definitely a good job to him. Going to get some good points for sure. Surprised the caution hasn't already came out. We're on lap 52, coming to 53. So that caution might have served as the stage break there. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to maybe talk to our stage 1 winner. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out as everybody crosses the line. Is the caution going to come out this time? And no, it doesn't. So I think we're going to be racing into the end of stage 2. So interesting to note that Chris Severa was your stage 1. Oh, there's the caution. Okay, a little bit late. That was a little bit late.
I didn't see that as the stage caution. It was
we went over. That's why I was thinking.
Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, so apparently, so this is going to be the official stage end here. Chris Severa, your stage 1 winner, with Kendall Levron in 2nd, Jose Acosta 3rd, Kenny Powell 4th, Paul Olson 5th, Darren Mullins 6th, Gary Adamson 7th. Of course, Randy Mullins is 8th, 15 laps down. It looks like Kendall Levron going down pit road. I think also Chris Severa. No, Chris Severa is staying out here. Kenny Powell down pit road as well. So we would take a break and talk to our sponsors. But I think now's the time. Let's talk to Chris Severa. Let's just go ahead and talk to Severa.
I think he's going to be pitting here this next time by. We saw this same thing happen on Thursday, but it was a far greater deal where there was a little bit of a checkup where drivers were trying to get down pit road. I think it kind of like they don't understand that maybe pit road is open as quick as it is.
Yep, 100%. Well, we do have now Chris Severa joining us here in the booth. Of course, Chris, congratulations on the stage 1 win. I know that was kind of a hectic stage. Great job to you, though. You're able to fight your way up to the front. You have a really fast race car underneath you. I do want to take you back to Kenny Powell, though, Chris. What happened in that situation?
Oh, I killed Kenny. Yeah, it just looked we got a good run on the initial restart going down the backstretch. And then I just saw he turned in like very early for a very straight shot to the bottom, and then I saw just how much speed he was carrying in. The bottom kind of opened up in the middle of the corner there, so I was just going to roll the bottom, and it wasn't anything malicious, but it was very close whether or not we got there or not. It looked like he was trying to do a bit of a diamond thing, but we just got there, and then once I hit him once, it just basically had to go through him, or else we're both going to go to the inside wall there.
Yeah, 100%.
Fortunately, he didn't get any damage, though.
Yeah, that's good, definitely, for sure. I didn't think it was malicious, but, I mean, I was kind of looking at it through the cockpit, from my position. It seemed like, you did have a little bit of a wiggle, or not, you kind of turned the wheel, kind of almost like you were trying to shake him off of you. But definitely, I'm sure he wasn't too happy about it, but I know you wouldn't do anything like that on purpose, for sure.
Yeah, it was kind of weird at that point, because I think he was like one of the only ones who didn't take tires at that point. I think a lot of us took our tires early there to stay out for this stage here. But, so it could have also been a little bit of a difference in speed on the cold tires. But, we all survived, so it's all good.
Yeah, 100%. Well, it looks like we're getting ready to go back green here. Who can we get a shout-out to after your stage 1 win?
Yeah, Gas and Go. You guys, as always, for putting on the broadcasts. And, 3F Racing, as always.
All righty. Well, thanks, Chris, and good luck to you.
Thanks, guys.
All righty. That was Chris Severa, our Stage 1 winner. Pace car now down pit road, and we're getting ready to go back green once again.
Yeah, looking more like the Blue Angels in the ISCA. Green flags out, and we're away. Jose Acosta getting caught sleeping there still. Now he comes down on Kendall Levron. Costa's going to come right back out again.
Yeah, definitely not a good day there for Mr. Jose. We'll see if we can figure out what just happened.
No, all I need is one more caution, and then we've already matched what we had on Thursday. So
and that's something. We got only 8 drivers out here.
8 drivers, and yeah, yeah.
And let's take a look back. We see, of course, the restart. There is the green flag, and see Kendall kind of goes underneath, and I think Kendall had the bottom line. He was on the bottom, and Jose, I think, thought he was clear and was not.
Yeah, once again, a situation where 2 drivers competing for the same space, and that's going to happen more and more. And I think that's kind of what happened earlier with even Randy Mullins. You know, guys get a little bit upset about it, but you know, that's one of the byproducts of short track racing. Gary Adamson now getting a lucky dog, getting his lap back. That's going to put him still 2 laps down after that, but he'll be working, doing everything he can to kind of catch back up. And at the rate we're going, I think he will be alive to compete.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely shocking that we're having this many cautions with this little many, not as many drivers. But, you know, these guys, even though there's not as many drivers, they still are very aggressive. They all compete and all want to win. I mean, these ISCA races are so hard to, win. And you can see what these guys are willing to do to kind of get it done.
But one of the things I would like to talk about, let's talk about fuel.
Okay, talk about it.
Definitely, fuel is the lifeblood of these race cars out here, man. That Sunoco racing fuel. And now with the advent of the fuel counter, the addition of that for the iRacing segment, I think that's even giving the drivers even a better sense of security, because you don't have to rely just on your crew chief for your fuel calculations.
100%. But should have the pace car lights going out this next time by. Of course, Gary Adamson down pit road once again. Of course, Jose Acosta, I do believe, has elected to stay out. No, he's actually down pit road as well, so he's probably going to be trying to get some damage repaired possibly, as we're 63 laps into this race.
He's gonna, he's gonna turn his tires off, because there's no reason to actually go down and get tires. But you think he's gonna take fuel while he's down on pit road?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good call. I mean, taking fuel if you do go down pit road, you might as well take gas, just considering it helps with the balance of the race car. I mean, that's a huge portion of this. If you don't, it kind of puts weight on them back tires, allows, you to be a little bit more planted. So I think that's an important thing for, these guys to do. And, you don't really, a lot of times you don't go down pit road and not take gas. I'd say you could do that maybe at a super speedway if you're towards the end of the race. But at a track like this, handling is absolutely everything, and that fuel kind of allows a little bit better handling.
Yeah, because that's what you factor in your car as far as at least on the setups, right?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely changes the balance quite a bit. And if you don't take fuel, you're going to be wanting to make some adjustments. As we see the pace car takes that left turn down pit road, green flag is going to fly once again here. It's Chris Severa, the control car. Good restart there for him. He's able to slide in front of Darren Mullins. Side by side, though, for third as Kendall LeVron and Kenny Powell do battle.
Absolutely. Kenny Powell trying to do everything he can. Now he's on the high side. Going to be crossing over, trying to come back down low. And Kendall LeBron, this is that pinch point that we've seen so many times so far this evening. LeBron almost spins it there, gets a little bit loose there as he continues to run. I think we're going to have to start switching, transitioning some of these in-car cameras, doing a little ride-along with these guys, seeing how many of these guys, how many are running actually third-gear setups here this evening.
Looking through the eyes of Kenny Powell, of course, he's in third gear. We saw that be the kind of, looks like the most common gear that most of these drivers are using. Let's take a look at Kendall LeBron. Yep, Kendall in third as well. Now, I have heard some drivers have shifted at this track, but that's kind of an advanced technique from what I've heard. It's very easy to have some tire hop.
Yeah, look at the line difference, the angles that Kendall LeBron's taking versus Darren Mullins. Mullins, a little bit more of a rounded edge, where it looks like LeBron's kind of more of a sharp edge, as he is kind of like really diving down into the corners and coming off high.
He got really close to the back end there to 64. I think he's starting to put a little bit of pressure. And you know how you always say about pressure, it either bursts pipes or makes diamonds.
Yeah, I don't think he's trying to make any diamonds here. I think he's definitely trying to pop the pipes of the 64 that's in front of him.
Whoa! And it looks like he's going to definitely muscle him around. And I do believe Kendall LeBron has taken over second.
Now look at how far back now Jose is, and I don't know what's going on with the 24 Powell, but he is back down pit road, not doing too well here. Powell, the recipient of a meatball flag.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can't get to the bottom of this. Kenny Powell right here just loses it. Boom. Yep, that's what did it. Hitting that wall.
You know, and I said that. I said that the one thing that was going to be different, but similar tonight, not about the number of cars, Brian, but the simple fact that there were so many self-spins that we had to contend with on Thursday. That was the majority of the caution. And, you know, and the worst part of a self-spin is when you get somebody else involved with you. So, luckily, Powell actually able to only collect himself.
Definitely sad day for the 24. Luckily for him, the lowest he can finish at the moment, I do believe, is 7th, considering he has actually gotten passed on the racetrack by Gary Adamson. Adamson now up to 6th.
Now, Powell back off in a way now. That's still only going to put him some 3 laps down, so he is definitely going to be out there trying to figure out what he can do to kind of stay a contender. Oh, whoa, that car's handling like sheer poo-poo.
Well, yeah, I'm surprised he got it out that quick.
Yeah, but I think he's going to want to bring that on back down here as he was like washed way up into the turn. He still got his hands full. Talking about riding a bronco pony, I mean, that thing's unbroken right there. Kenny Powell, the only thing he's going to break right here is going to be his spirits as he brings her on back down once again. That new damage model, Brian, I mean, it is definitely being proven to be way more than just a simple handful.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's definitely proven to be a lot more realistic. I mean, when you hit that outside wall like that, even though, yeah, you fixed it and you're good to get back out on the racetrack, handling-wise, it's still it's not going to be the same. I mean, it's going to need a little bit more TLC than that, right?
Yeah, and we definitely we discussed that even on Thursday where drivers were saying, yeah, I got back out there, but my car, you know, it was never handling the same. I was throwing everything at the adjustments, trying to get it back to where it was even drivable. So now, you know, that's definitely what he's dealing with. But Paul Olsen, man, he is definitely hanging in there like a hair and a biscuit, solidifying himself in 5th place. And just he
hair and a biscuit.
Yeah, he is giving Jose Acosta, I mean, a miracle, which is really good, man. So shout out to Paul Olsen. I think I know who I'm going to be talking to at the end of this stage here.
There you go. I mean, Paul Olsen's definitely putting on a good show for us here. He's only a little under a second behind Jose Acosta. He's been showing some good pace. I mean, I think if some other people have some unfortunate accidents, I think we could say Paul Olsen gets the top 3 here. Oh, a little contact with the wall there for Olsen.
Yeah, I think we should just talk about somebody else now.
Yeah, just don't look at him.
Yep.
Chris Severa so far has definitely had a dominant run. He's led over 50-something laps at the moment. He's about a little under 2 seconds in front of Kendall LeBron at the moment as we are now 81 laps into the show, and he is definitely catching up, I do believe, to Gary Adamson. So lap traffic, of course, was a big deal on Thursday. And now that we have less drivers out here, you know,
you think?
We might not have as many cautions. I'm hoping at least that's the case.
Yeah, this is like that time on the school bus, which I don't know if you ever rode the public school bus or not when you was in school.
Oh, yeah, I used to sleep on the bus all the time.
So this is the end of the route where there's only like, you know, 3 or 4 kids on the bus and you get to move around. And, you know, that's where we're at here on this
Talk
racetrack.
to the bus driver. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I actually understand exactly what you're saying because I always was one of the last ones to get off the bus because we lived out in the boondocks, you know. You go into town, we lived about 15 minutes from town, you know.
Yeah, my sister was a school bus driver, so I'd get on at the house.
Oh, you're right. You were the last one.
And no joke.
But right now, Chris Severa in the lead. Kendall LeBron second. Darren Mullins is in third. Jose is in fourth. Paul Olsen in fifth. That is the top 5 and the only drivers that are on the lead lap at the moment. Kenny Powell has now gone 12 laps down.
Yep. Gary Adamson, though, finding himself still some 2 laps down. He is in 6th place, and Randy Mullins, well, he's just sitting back there drinking Coca-Colas there, I saw, and eating pizza.
I think he's got him some ice cream.
Yeah, he's going to need it, man, because this ambient air temperature is 72 degrees. That track temp, Brian, she is down from 109, was just where it was at when we started, down to 102 degrees. Winds non-existent out of the northwest, though, at 3 miles an hour. Right now, lap 87 of 250. This stage will be over in lap 115. Chris Severa now goes by Gary Adamson. That's going to put Adamson some 3 laps down.
Yep. I mean, I wouldn't give up if I was Gary, though. I would stick with it. Don't give up. I mean, you never know what could still happen here. I mean, he still is in 6th place.
Yeah, you still got to keep going, buddy. Because Kenny Powell's going to be here. He's going to get his car fixed, and he's going to keep running. So if you were to stop now, there's still more than, I mean, we're not even halfway through this thing. Yeah, you got to keep going at this point. The math is not in your favor.
Been looking at lap times here. Kendall LeBron has been quite faster, a lot faster, though, than Chris Severa at the moment.
Well, Severa right now, I think he's just kind of in chill mode. I mean, all he's got to do is just keep doing what he's doing. 25 laps left to go in this stage, which is quite a while. We're just halfway through it.
Yeah, definitely. Looking at lap times, though, Kendall LeBron, 19.793 versus Chris Severa, 19.8. Of course, they got a little bit closer to that last time. But, yeah, I think you're right. I think Chris Severa is just trying to run as quick as he needs to. I mean, he's that type of driver that he knows what laps he needs to hit.
Yeah, absolutely. He's turned quite a few laps here this week already, trying to get in preparation for tonight's event. But with that, so he knows what his consistent lap times need to be. And the next thing is, I mean, he doesn't really need to go out there and lap the entire field. There's nothing that he's going to prove by doing that. You just got to be very consistent. You got to be poised, and you just kind of we just got to get through the end of this thing.
Kenny Powell is back on the racetrack. He's 17 laps down. Might go another lap down here if Chris Severa has anything to do with it. Of course, Kenny looks like he's got the car fixed a lot better now. It seems like it is able to rotate on the bottom, which is definitely a lot better than what he was able to do a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I think the drivers are going to be talking about just that. I mean, they're talking about that new damage model. I mean, so we know that tires are going to be a conversation, obviously, because we discovered that early on in the first stage. Then you said we weren't going to talk about fuel. Well, I've been talking about fuel just because I told you I was going to talk about fuel. But the next thing is it's got to be that damage model, man, and how drivers are going to have to truly sit there and wait the time in order to get the handling back.
Yeah, I mean, got to get it fixed. I mean, that's definitely what you got to do. I mean, even if you go laps down, I mean, it's definitely something that you have to do. You got to stick with it. These points are so important, especially stage points and just, there's only 8 drivers in here. You're guaranteed the top 8, but you want to still try to squeeze out as much as you can.
Absolutely. And speaking of squeezing, Jose Acosta just woes by the 6-4 Darren Mullins. That's going to put Jose on the podium up to 3rd place. He's got to be feeling pretty good about that. He unloaded a car that was kind of iffy. And I'm going to say that, Jose. I know you're probably going to get mad because I did say it. But, what was it, a top 5 car? Still a lot of racing left to go. We're going to see how this thing shakes itself out. But right now, he's got to be feeling good about the fact that he's actually on the podium.
Yeah, he's not slow by any means. I mean, he was able to bypass Darren Mullins fairly easy there. Of course, Darren seems like he's having some handling woes right now. Even Paul Olson is starting to catch him, and Olson looking to see if he can't get up into that 4th place spot. And what a race for Paul Olson. I mean, he's had a fantastic show here tonight as we close in on 100 laps into the event. Of course, after, I do believe soon enough, we'll have 15 to go here in the stage. But very impressed with Olson. And but then again, you look at the lap times these guys are hitting. They're okay. but they are, I think, in danger at some point of possibly going a lap down. You see Severa, of course, not that far back from these guys.
And like I said, I think he is Chris Severa is on a ride-along program right now. He's just got her pointed in the right direction, man, and they're just kind of taking it easy. There's no sense of tearing anything up, no sense of trying to break any records. As now Paul Olson gets by Darren Mullins, that's going to put Olson up into 4th place, having a banner run for that team tonight. I mean, everybody's getting a stake on the Olson team.
Yeah, for sure, going to be a great points day, and he needs them. And I know he's strong as well at some of these other tracks like Talladega. You know, next week, this could be the momentum and confidence boost that he needs to be really successful next week.
Especially this time in the season. You know what I mean? You got to think about it. Just this time where everybody's kind of like laying off. If this guy could come out here and get 2-3 weeks of consecutive strong runs, I mean, that'd be awesome. Chris Severa now getting ready to come by the 5th place car, Darren Mullins. That's going to put just 4 cars remaining on the lead lap.
It looks like he's going to get by him fairly easy. I think something definitely wrong with that 64 right now. I think he needs a little bit of tender love and care himself.
I don't think it's a fuel issue.
I don't think so either.
I'm pretty sure it's a tire issue.
Yeah, it's probably a tire issue and could be something to do with the setup. Maybe ran, the way he ran good on Thursday. He looked like he had a lot of speed on Thursday. Maybe he decided to try to change something and do something a bit different. I actually did. Remember, what was it? I think Bristol, I think it was. We saw Austin Derbyshire, who runs on this Saturday series quite a bit. Remember, he had those issues and hit the barrels. Well, actually, there was an update. I did talk to him the other day, and he actually mentioned what that was about. He had put on the wrong setup, Big Al, and could that be the case here for Darren? I mean, it happens more than I think a lot of people care to admit.
No, he was running solid. I thought. I mean, I think
He
this
did
track
tell me he was running a different setup. You're talking about, Darren? Yeah, he was running solid, yeah. You think, maybe he's just been pushing it a little too hard and burned it up. Could be.
Yeah, I think he's just having a bad night.
Yeah, for sure.
Kenny Powell got her running pretty good and rotating. Here comes Chris Severa. He's going to be putting Paula Olson a lap down. That means only 3 cars will remain on that lead lap. So I don't know what Powell did down there, but I think he's got her tuned up pretty good where she is at least competitive.
Yeah, competitive enough to, make something happen here. And you never know if Gary Adamson gets dissuaded or loses his motivation. Kenny Powell can gain another spot. I mean, it is possible, and I think that's why he hasn't given up here yet.
Yeah, Roger, we're going to be about 6 laps off of the stage caution here. And interesting note, Chris Severa, I mean, he did not pit at the end of stage 1. So right now he is rolling around on an 81 lap old equipment, which is probably just getting himself in preparation.
Yeah, I think he'll come down this time, that's for sure. And, of course, long way to go to the end after, this stage is completed. But, yeah, I think that I love your call that you want to talk to Paul Olson. I think that is – he doesn't get a lot of opportunity to come talk to us, and I think he's earned it tonight. But Chris Severa in the lead, of course, now going to be coming to 4 laps to go here in the stage. And Paul Olson will be the lucky dog once that caution does come out, so he will be the 4th driver on the lead lap when that does happen. And I think the more time he spends out here, the better he gets. I can't wait to see what the future holds for that 43. I mean, just considering, he always, I think, has somewhat confidence issues, to where he doesn't feel like he's good enough to race with these guys. But I think the more and more time he spends, this is going to be a booster right here for him. And I love it. I mean, that's one thing. That's one of the reasons I love broadcasting, Big Al, is because we get to watch these stories. We get to watch this growth from these drivers, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I mean, a lot of the other leagues that we call for, I mean, I love to see that. When you see that guy that struggles just all the time, but he comes back one day and it seems like a switch has been flipped in him,
Absolutely, Brian.
But here we go, final lap of stage number 2. Chris Severa, of course, coming down the back stretch. Going to be coming into 3 and 4 for the final time of the stage. And, yeah, Kenny Powell, like you said, he's got that car fixed up. I'm surprised at how quick he is at the moment. So good job to his pit crew, able to really, assess the damage, give him what he needs. We'll have to wait and see if he's going to be able to get back to it and maybe back. I don't think he's going to get back on the lead lap. But
I think his pit crew, though, I think he's given those guys plenty of practice. I mean, he has been literally beating the shit out of his car for the last.
He definitely has been. But yellow flag is out, which concludes stage number 2. Chris Severa in the lead. Of course, Kendall LeBron in second. Jose Acosta third. Paul Olson fourth. Darren Mullins fifth. Gary Adamson sixth. Kenny Powell seventh. And Randy Mullins, of course, eighth. And it looks like already here comes Chris Severa down pit road. Let's take a brief step away, and we'll be right back with whoever Big Al wants to talk to.
Ow. Ew. Ow. Ew.
Want relief from tough pain without the tough taste? Try Goody's Cool Orange. Goody's fast, Goody's delicious. Because pain relief shouldn't be a pain to take. Goody's flavors, taking the pain out of pain relief.
And we are back. And I do believe Big Al has somebody he'd like to talk to. Big Al, you have the floor.
Paul Olson, Big Al up in the booth. You got me?
I sure do. Just a second here, pitting. Okay. Just want to make sure I didn't speed going in.
I got you. I'm going to let you go ahead and complete your pit stop.
Oh, we're good. We're good.
Man, I tell you what, congratulations to you for bringing these guys, bringing them in here on the podium for this stage. That's got to feel pretty good for you.
That's surprising, that's for sure.
Not surprising, man. We've been watching you kind of grow. You're aging like fine wine, and to be able to have a solid run, not only does it make us feel good, but I know that, I was already joking with Brian that everybody gets a steak tonight on your team.
Well, I don't know if I'm aging like fine wine. I know I'm aging. My back is killing me, man.
Yeah, these races are a little bit challenging, especially being on the short track. How many laps you think you turned this week trying to get ready for this event?
To be honest with you, the only thing I've done is the 2 league races. That's about it. And it shows.
Do you feel like you're getting a better handle on the car as the updates go? And we've been in this car now for going on, this is our second year. Is it starting to kind of slowly come to you? You're starting to figure out the mechanics of it a little better?
Actually, it is. This has always been like my worst track. I just never liked it, never agreed with it in any form. I'm actually kind of digging it this go around.
Roger that. Lights off on the pace car, though. You're going to have to get back at it, get back to work. But before we let you go, boss, who you shouting out here for your third place finish in stage 2?
Oh, G&G, as always. You guys up in the booth, and Team Watson Racing for a good setup.
Well, roger that, boss. We'll continue to watch you and praise you from afar. Good luck to you, boss. Hopefully we can talk to you at the end of this thing.
10-4.
That was Paul Olson, driver over the 43. Definitely fantastic performance so far tonight. He just got his lap back. And here we go. Green flag is back out in the air once again. Chris Severa with a good start. Looks like Gary Adamson to the bottom of the racetrack for some reason. Looks like he's going to be letting Olson go. Of course, Kendall LeBron, this is his chance. But not a great start there for LeBron. He's already back 6/10 there from Severa. So Severa kind of on in a league of his own right now on these restarts. But you see Kenny Powell coming up here to Jose Acosta. Now, of course, Powell is 17 laps down. Also, Darren Mullins, 5 laps down. Gary Adamson, 4 laps down. So Mullins has, I do believe, I don't know if he's called it quits, but definitely is having some problems.
Hey, so if you remember, there was a situation where Jose was actually a lap down on Thursday, and we talked specifically about it because, he was racing the guys that were, right there ahead of him. So my question to you is this thing weighs on, and let's just say Kenny Powell does find the speed that he needs, is it going to be prudent for him to actually continue to battle Jose so strong, being as many laps down as he is?
I don't think so. I think he's just wanting to get as much pace as he can. And I don't think he's going to really endanger Jose here. And if he does, then, that would be another story altogether. But we do see Jose is catching up quickly to Kendall LeBron. So I think we're going to see a battle possibly for that position.
Ooh-wee. As we are halfway
look at that,
through.
though. One thing, I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Big Al. Randy Mullins is back on the racetrack, I do believe.
Yeah, but unfortunately, when he came back onto the racetrack,
no.
he incurred himself a black flag. So that's the reason why he is back down on pit road right now. He is serving that, but he should be back out running here momentarily.
Yeah, and I think the reason he came back out, because, you look at Darren Mullins, he's on pit road right now, and I don't know if he's given up or throwing in the towel, but this is why Kenny Powell came back out. Because he's like, you never know what's going to happen. Darren Mullins, he's having issues right now.
Problem. That problem right there is going to be the 24 Kenny Powell, as he is leaving hair.
Oh, no, and Paul Olsen.
Paul
Olsen also involved.
Yeah, Powell, though, is definitely probably done here. Pretty hard damage on that 2.4 Camry.
Hate to see that as we take a look back and see what happened. I just hate that Paul was involved as well. See, should be happening very, very soon here. I think he just, got loose. Boom! Look at that. And Paul, that was a hard lick for Paul Olsen.
She hooked and rotated on Powell.
Man. You hate that. Take another look at this from the far chase camera. It looks like I think he caught a little bit of that curb. Oh, and just Olsen just nowhere really to go, and that could even end Olsen's race. I hope not.
Well, he did not have black flag. Gary Adamson gets one of his laps back. Chris Rivera definitely down on the inside of the wall. I believe he was playing his white car privilege card.
And look at that. See that? He caught the little bit of that curb, and that's what unsettled the car. Oh, man. Yeah, and look at that. You see the piece of Kenny Powell's race car sliding around on the racetrack. And, yeah, we talked about that on Thursday. When you're running that low groove, it's so easy to catch just a touch on that bottom curb. And the car don't like that, Big Al.
Yep, Olsen limping her on down around pit road now. Powell's down and out. Definitely going to take a lot more than just a couple Band-Aids and Bondo to get that 24 Camry running again.
Yeah, and you can see the front end of Olsen's car. Quite dinged and banged up. He took quite a shot to that front end, and luckily he didn't blow the engine. I'm hoping that they're able to get that car a little bit better in working order, bang it out. Hopefully he doesn't have any temperature issues. Of course, that leaves pretty much the only clean cars right now is Chris Rivera, Kendall LeBron, and Jose Acosta. Everybody else has a little bit of damage.
I want to bring Kenny Powell up.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's talk to Powell.
Hey, Kenny Powell, big gal up in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
Man, how does it feel to just not only tear up your car, but like one of your G&G teammates' cars as well? That's definitely not one of the highlights of your career tonight.
No, I don't know what's up with me tonight. It's just my car doesn't feel right. I'm not feeling right. So, yeah, just chalk it up to a bad day, bad night. I feel horrible for Paul. He was having a good race.
Yeah, it looks like that new damage model is definitely in full effect, though. Can you definitely tell a difference between, say, this race and like last Saturday night's race?
I don't know. Saturday is a good example, but
yeah.
But definitely the damage model, it is apparent. They take more damage, and even when you get it fixed, it's not 100% like I felt like it was before.
All right, bud. Well, we're sorry about your luck tonight, and hopefully you can actually get to feeling better and driving better, and we'll talk at you a little bit later.
10-4. Thank you.
Pace car has taken a left turn down pit road. Chris Rivera, once again, the control car here, as we're just a little bit over halfway through this event. And here we go, green flag waving once again. I think this is going to be a telling sign. Does Paul Olson have major issues? Looks like he is going to slow down a little bit there, probably let some guys go. But Chris Severa having a good launch.
Yeah, I think he's got major issues, Brian. If you just see how high he is going, don't think he'll be actually competitive here. Oh, and Kendall LeBron around.
More contact for Olson.
Olson again.
Sad to see that, Lord.
You just don't want to see it. But you can't look away at this point.
I'm wondering how this happened. Was it as a result of contact?
We covered our quota on caution, so I'm good to go.
See Kendall on the bottom here. I think he just got loose. Well, let's see here. There's Jose right behind him. No, he caught the apron. That apron, I'm telling you, that thing's like the Reaper, Big Al. It'll get you.
Yep, and looks like Jose, Mr. Mullins just kind of followed his lead, and they both were actually able to get by. Paul Olson, though, he made a little bit more contact.
Yeah, his car's going to be just a hair more damaged. See, just a little touch is all it takes. It's not like an apron where you could put that tire down there and it won't hurt you. But here, you touch that apron at all, there is no apron, Big Al. I mean...
Yeah, I think a lot of drivers now taking a page out of Chris Severa's playbook as he did find himself coming down on pit road.
Look at this. Take a look at how Kendall's car. It is a little bit cattywampus, a little bit of a off-kilter way about it. He's definitely it's not really that noticeable, but he's crab walking just a hair, and that is indicative of suspension damage.
Now, every driver that we're covering tonight right now has been down pit road with the exception of two. Gary Adamson stays out 19 laps on his equipment. Jose Acosta stays out as well. He's at 18 laps on his equipment. That's going to put these two in a different storyline altogether.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity, I'd say, for Jose.
Gary Adamson, some 2 laps down. He'll be falling down to the low side, allowing the majority of the field to bypass him now. He'll fall to the rear. Got a lot to sort out here, man. We got drivers that are coming back at different points and times and contingencies. The 43 and the 28 go ahead and get in their wave around. Paul Olson seems to be stuck as he is spun out and disconnected. Might want to ride with the 43 to see what happened to him. No, it's after that. He was actually getting a wave around. And, yeah, he didn't make it. Yep, that's going to put him, he's going to put it away for today.
Sad to see it, too. See right here, I think it's about when this is, because I heard some type of, just spun it right in front of Kendall. Luckily, Kendall was able to navigate around, but see Paul Olson definitely upset, taking a tow.
Yeah, they both were getting the wave around, and I guess Paul got waved all the way around.
Green flag is back out. We only have 3 cars that are on the lead lap at the moment.
Jose Acosta battling down on the inside of the 6-2 of Severa. Severa's going to stay high. We know that he is not going to relinquish that. He's going to do everything that he has in order to make it work. Now, hopefully, he won't get up into that loose marble. Jose now is going to be putting his fender right there on Chris's fender.
Looks like Jose does take the lead. He is in the lead, about 5/10 up on Chris Severa at the moment.
And also remember, keep in mind, Jose, 22 laps on his equipment right now. So he is definitely running on a little bit more mature tires.
Yeah. I don't think it's hurting him too bad. I mean, he was able to really fight off Chris, but I think Severa might have just he was like, it's not worth battling you right now.
What do you call, 23-lap old tires? Are those Cougars?
I don't think so. I think that when we saw earlier with 80-something lap old tires, that's a Cougar there.
Severa,
Here
though,
comes Chris,
definitely
yeah.
starting to. Yeah, he is definitely starting to get a better sight picture there, and that's probably what it feels like to the 42. Imagine right now, it seems like he's got a big old target on his back. That's Severa right now, just simply playing with his food.
100%. Unfortunately, Paul Olson now 7 laps down. Gary Adamson 3 laps down, so he has now moved up into the 4th. And here comes Severa. Woo, boy, he got real close. I think he's, a little bit of a loose condition there from Jose off the corner. So Chris,
He's just having
we've seen
fun.
it. He will use that nose. He will do it.
He's just having fun.
He just causing a little bit of an extra anxiety to Jose Acosta right now.
Just rattling his cage a little bit, that's all. He ain't trying to wreck him, he's just rattling his cage. Jose, though, definitely got to be.
Oh, no, Kendall LeVron. I think something went wrong for Kendall LeVron here because he is now on pit road. A lap down, soon to be probably more. Oh. Something definitely wrong with that race car. So he brings it down pit road voluntarily. He stops on the entry to pit road and gives up. Man, you hate to see that. That leaves only 2 drivers on the lead lap at the moment.
Yeah, those 2 drivers happen to be Jose Acosta and Chris Severa.
This is definitely turning into
and it's
a
like
race.
And it's like they're 2 different menus from 2 different restaurants right here. What's going on with these 2 guys?
That does bode well for Gary Adamson. He now moves up into 3rd, and he's 3 laps down. So he's got himself a podium if he holds his mouth right, as you always say.
Ford. Chris Severa now on the inside of the 42 of Jose Acosta. Jose doing everything the right way. Going to let Severa slip by on the inside. Not really going to contest the fight. Jose keeps doing what he's doing, though. He's definitely going to have himself a very, very rich payday as well.
Yeah, good point stay there for that 42. If you just just hold himself together, just keep driving. The worst he could do right now is 2nd if he keeps his car clean.
And pray that the 54 doesn't have a vendetta.
Yeah. Yeah, you do remember, the 54 and the 42 did have a little bit of an issue earlier.
I'm not saying that we might have ourselves a potential case of 100% ISCA grade beef.
Yeah, and I think maybe Jose feeling a little bit nervous as well about that. If I was Jose, if Randy gets up to me, I'm just going to let him go. I mean, there's nothing to gain by racing him. I mean, he's 87 laps down.
Yeah, but I think Randy's back out here for a reason, if I could just say that.
Oh, he might very well be.
Yeah, I don't know if he's racing for points, Brian. I think he might be racing for a point.
Well, he might be racing to get, because, I mean, he is still very much a possibility he gets by Kenny Powell and Darren Mullins.
So you don't think he's chasing Jose?
He could very well be. But I'm just saying if he avoids that sort of vengeance, he could get some more points.
Do you think he cares?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
I mean, and I could be totally just out here stirring the proverbial pot for no reason whatsoever because, I'm a commentator. That's what we do, right?
That's right. We do.
We just stir the pot and talk about the race.
At the moment, we only have, I do believe, 4 drivers that are still on the track.
This definitely turned out to be more like a demolition derby than it did.
On Thursday. I'd say on Thursday, I mean, they definitely seemed like they were able to get along a little bit better on Thursday.
Oh, Adamson into the wall on the outside. That's just want to keep him in this thing.
Yeah, I want to keep him up in that 3rd spot and get him a nice podium.
Man, looks like we're going to be talking to everybody that finishes this thing.
It definitely does appear that way. Sad to say, but
Green flag racing continues. For those of you that are just joining us, 92 laps ago in the Goody's Headache 250, and this has definitely been quite a bit of headache for quite a few drivers. Speaking of which, the 43 Paul Olsen, he is going to be getting back onto the racing surface. If he can just go out there and best Kendall LeBron, which I think they have a delta of about 6 laps, that'll put Olsen back into 4th place, which is still going to be a solid finish for that crew.
yeah, I mean, I think that's why he came back out. He realizes that, hey, I can't give up here. Otherwise, maybe Gary has another issue. He could still get a podium here. But Chris Severa, of course, in lead. He's got about 1.5 seconds on Jose at the moment. We'll have to wait and see. Does Chris Severa make a mistake? I mean, one thing I always kind of believe about racing is when you're out there kind of by yourself and don't have anybody to judge yourself on, a lot of times that's when mistakes are most, probable, I'd say. Just considering when you're by yourself, you don't have anybody else to judge you on. You don't have anybody to kind of keep you in it. I mean, you have that almost to where subconsciously you disconnect a little bit. Almost like how when you're driving on the interstate, you kind of subconsciously disconnect a little bit. And that can be a bad thing in a lot of ways. We'll have to see. I mean, does Chris make a mistake? You never know. We've seen him trip himself before. We've seen it before.
Yeah, I definitely think he is out there racing the best race that he possibly can. But, I've said on numerous occasions that sometimes Chris Severa's greatest competition is Chris Severa. So I've seen him beat himself more than I've seen any other driver beat him, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, 100%. Makes a whole lot of sense.
Man, 86 laps to go. This did turn out to be quite a race here, though.
It definitely did. I mean, I'm sure a lot of drivers wish they could go back and try it all again.
Yeah, it was
they'd
a battle.
Make different decisions, wouldn't you?
Battle of attrition, man, and that's a lot of times what you see. But usually on short track racing, cars are kind of forgiven, and they look like they've been warring back at the end of this thing. But tonight, a lot of guys elected to go ahead and put them on the other side of the wall, load them up, take them home, which I find that to be kind of interesting to say the least. But yeah, overall, though, I think it's been a pretty good showing.
Yeah, Paul Olsen now moves up to 4th. He does get by Kendall LeBron. And I think the reason LeBron kind of parked it is you do remember I was talking about how he was kind of a little hair sideways, kind of crab walking a little bit. I think that might have been why he did that. The car just wasn't handling right. Hopefully he's able to get that damage fixed, get back out here.
I think he's gone.
I hate to see that.
Yeah, Bubba, he's gone. Now, not to say that he couldn't reconnect, but as of right now, maybe we should sing to him. Baby, come back!
Hopefully you could blame it all on me.
I was wrong, and I just can't live without you. Yeah, for those of you that are still with us, though, sometimes you just got to have a little Big Al karaoke.
That's right.
Jose Acosta doing everything that he needs to do tonight, though, to try to make his team happy, as he has got second place pretty much solidified. Gary Adamson in 3rd, but he is some 4 laps down. Jose just keeps rolling behind Chris Severa. Don't think he is going to have to stop again before this thing is over. But as of right now, though, Brian, he does have just a little bit of over 52 laps on his tires.
Yeah, he's not turning bad laps. I mean, he was just a hair faster, about 0.03 faster than Severa last time. So I don't think he's necessarily struggling at the moment. But then again, last time by he was a couple tenths slower than Severa. So I mean, he's not faring terribly right now when it comes to lap times. And I think both of these drivers are just kind of hanging out. They realize that I just need to survive. We've seen a lot of other drivers not survive, and I think they're serving as a cautionary tale to a lot of these other ones.
Well, as long as I know how to live, I know I will survive.
With that, since we got a little bit of a lull here, let's take a good break and spend some much needed time to pay some attention to our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, my name is Warren Maddox. I am the president of Ultimate Experience Outdoors. Our mission, we are dedicated to taking veterans, first responders, youth, and Gold Star family members on outdoor excursions across the country.
Support for our mission has many forms, from camp cooks to the great storytellers, some buddies with the band, maybe you just want to build a campfire and sit around and listen. Nothing goes unnoticed.
Camaraderie is reborn. The acceptance among the men and women that took an oath.
Whether it was decades ago or recently renewed, but never forgotten.
If you feel like you could help us, please visit our website, www.uxonation.org.
Or there, you can register to hunt, sign up to sponsor an event, or even donate to us so we can continue to execute our mission.
Oh my gosh, I feel talking, bro. We get a hug. What have you done, Jim?
We need your help to hold the line once again.
Ow. Ew. Ow. Ew.
Want relief from tough pain without the tough taste? Try Goody's Cool Orange. Goody's fast, Goody's delicious, because pain relief shouldn't be a pain to take. Goody's flavors, taking the pain out of pain relief.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 182 laps down. Still, I do believe, just over 70 to go, or just under 70 to go, I should say. Chris Severa in the lead, of course, with now almost 3.6 seconds down on Jose Acosta. I'm pretty sure Jose is starting to struggle with his tires. I think, that's starting to come to fruition a little bit here, as Randy Mullins is catching up to him now. Could that stir the pot a little bit here? Could Randy, when he gets up to Jose, maybe a little bit of payback? I don't know, but Randy is starting to catch up to Kenny Powell. Of course, Kenny Powell 74 laps down. Randy Mullins is 87 laps down at the moment.
And I'm just sitting here waiting to see exactly how smooth this transition is. I think it's going to be a little bumpy, Brian.
100%. It could very well be very bumpy. Here comes Randy.
We don't have anything else to talk about except for these two drivers right now, so we got to build up the anticipation as much as possible.
Wreck him, Randy.
Wreck him, Randy. Yeah, that's right. You can get the Wreck him, Randy action figure wrapped in this ISCA garb.
Also, I do believe Gary Adamson is now on pit road.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate.
Now, I think he's just taking some tires. I think he's going to get back out here. I think you don't want to give away a third-place spot, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Paul Olson's also on the track, so if Gary were to quit here, Olson could get a top 3. See, Gary is back on the racetrack. He's now 7 laps down with some fresh tires. As we're coming up here to 60 laps to go very soon. We appreciate everybody out there tuning in to the ISCA. Kenny Powell coming back on the track. How about that? Now that is going to be interesting, because that's going to make Randy not have as much to gain here unless he gets up to Darren. Oh, Randy getting real close to the back of the 42. I think eventually his patience is going to run out.
Eventually he's going to catch him is what's going to happen.
Oh, he's catching him. If Jose was smart, I think he might would just like, go on ahead, buddy. Have fun.
I don't think it's going to be that easy.
As a broadcaster, I hope it's not that easy. But if I was in the driver's seat for the 42, I think I'd make it that easy.
Well, these two definitely have a little bit of a storied past here, especially this evening, as Jose could or could not have gotten in contact with the 54. And
well, he did, but I mean, we discussed that a little bit ago, earlier in the race when that did happen. I mean, like I said, I don't think Jose did particularly anything wrong. Now, race control could rule on that differently.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what you thought. It's how did the 54 perceive that to be?
Yeah, exactly. It's all about his perspective.
Absolutely. And his perspective was, I think he felt like he got ran down.
Yeah, I mean, and the contact essentially took him out of contention for a race win. So, he's going to think that, this guy took me out,
Well, he kind of did. I mean, Randy started this thing on the pole.
He did. He very much did, and was fastest in practice as well. Oh, here comes Randy. But I don't know. I mean, I think Randy's already had a chance. I mean, he's been on the back of the 42 for quite a time. I mean, if he wanted to really take him out, oh, well.
I'm not saying he's going to take him out, but I think
he's trying to ruffle him. Oh.
We got to have something to talk about, Brian. Come on.
He's getting real close. He is getting really close to the back of that 42.
I mean, I think right now they're just racing. That's all. And I believe Randy's doing everything he can to try to give the 42 plenty of space.
I think he's trying to play a little bit of mind games with him. Just let him know that, just build the anxiety in Jose, not make him, you don't want to wreck him. If he was planning on wrecking him, you don't want to make it to where, like, it's just a sudden accident and it happened. He wants to keep him worried about it the whole time. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
like
definitely.
torturing him, just keeping his mind, stay in his mind the whole time. Because Jose's thinking a lot about that 54 right now. That is probably the only thing that's on his mind at the moment.
Well, he can't be worried about the 62. So, yeah, I think you're spot on when you say that the 54 is definitely what is prevalent. I mean, that's what's in his relative. I mean, that's what he has been. I mean, that's been dominating the majority of the conversations that's been going on across their radio spectrum. I think we got another driver back onto the racetrack as well. 6 cars out there right now, Brian. That's definitely pretty good. Paul Olson is back into the contest.
Yep, some 22 laps down.
Solidifying his 4th place position.
Kenny Powell has gotten by Darren Mullins. He's now up to 6th place.
Yeah, so glad that these guys actually came back here and run around with us.
Yeah, it could have been an easy call to give up, quit. So easy to do that. But, these guys definitely determined, and don't want to just give up,
Yeah. Especially the guys that are your age. Those are going to be the guys that are going to probably give up a lot quicker.
Oh, my word.
What? Was that offensive?
I don't take you. Not that I don't take you serious, but I know you're not trying to insult me. You're just. You're actually somewhat right. I'd say the millennials and the newer generations are like that. I will say.
Man, Jose, though, definitely doing what he needs to do to kind of keep that 54 at bay. And we were kind of watching this as a talking point, not just, to be contrite, but, just because we needed something to talk about. And just like that, the 64 is back on the racetrack, I do believe.
Don't see him.
Okay, we still only got 6 cars on the racetrack. Shout out to Chris Severa, though, for definitely coming out here tonight and putting on quite a show for the spectators. Doing exactly what he needs to do. That 62 has been super fast as he has led the majority of the laps here tonight with this event.
Yeah, he definitely has been putting on a clinic out here. And, you talked about it on the top of the broadcast that he's the favorite. I mean, and if he wins this race, that's going to be his, I do believe, 4th win this Cup season and 7th, I do believe, in the Super Cup. So, I mean, he's had a dominant season.
Yeah, to say the least.
Of course, we do have his camera on the screen right now, so you can kind of see the looks on his face. I'd say he's fairly calm, but he has slowed down a little bit here. It looks like maybe trying to make the race interesting, let Jose catch back. But I do believe next time by 42 laps to go as we close in on the ending portions of this race. Of course, we've been clean and green for the most part in this stage. Of course, stage 1 was quite hectic. Did see a lot of cautions in stage 1. We did see a couple in stage number 2.
Yeah, we were actually able to end on the same mark of cautions that we did for Thursday's contest.
Might not be necessarily a good thing.
Well, I kind of called it. I was hoping that we would have been able to get our share of cautions.
Randy Mullins is now up to 7th. He just got by Father Darren. And I think Randy might even get up there and possibly get by Kendall LeBron. Maybe it's going to be close. Kenny Powell definitely, I think, can get by LeBron. LeBron, if he does not get back out on the track, will lose maybe a couple more spots here. So wouldn't that be something to have Kenny Powell 79 laps down, finishing 5th?
Yeah, he's definitely going to get it. I think both he and Randy Mullins will surpass the 28 of Kendall LeBron. So it looks like LeBron will actually slide all the way down and finish this thing in 7th if it were to continue in the running order the way it is. And that'll put Powell all the way up to 5th. And Randy Mullins a solid 6th place finish tonight for his efforts.
Could have been much worse. That's why, you always got to recommend drivers to get back in the car.
Yeah, that's a very true story because in the 11 laps, then Powell will actually go ahead and move up. Or 10 laps, rather.
10 laps, exactly. Unless Kendall gets back out there. But like I said, I think he's called it for tonight. And unfortunate, too. I mean, just considering Kendall, I think, had easily a top 3 car. Definitely, maybe even a 2nd place car. He looked real good. Ran 2nd a lot tonight.
But Brian, and I'm kind of glad you brought that up. But the 43 into the wall a little bit, scrubbing that paint off that right front fender. It's okay. I like that rugged look too, Paul. But these races are just that. They're endurance races. And you think back to when this whole series started, when NASCAR started, 500 miles is 500 miles, man. And, a lot of the times these guys drove their cars to the racetrack. So it's an endurance event. And these guys burn more calories. NASCAR drivers burn as many calories or more calories than a marathon runner. So, I mean, that all has to play into it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 100%. I mean, wouldn't that be something to have to drive your NASCAR car back home? So that makes it even more of an endurance race. I mean, if you're beating and banging so much in the actual race, you can't drive it home. What are you gonna do? I need to
Yeah.
ride.
Yeah, these guys would set out cross country, man, for the California races, and just listen to some of the stories they tell. It's pretty awesome.
Definitely is very awesome. Wish I could have been alive back then to witness some of those races. That would have been really cool back in the glory days of NASCAR. Of course, soon to be 30 laps to go. Of course, Chris Rivera has led the most laps here so far tonight. Taking a look at it, he has led 177 out of 220 so far. He has 84 laps on his tires at the moment. Coming up on some lap traffic, of course, Gary Adamson does let him go. Adamson now 8 laps down.
Yeah, of course Adamson lets him go. You don't have a choice in that matter.
No, I mean, but my thought is that, Chris is on some old tires right now.
Yeah, but Jose's on 102 lap old tires.
He is. He definitely is.
And Severa's only on 86 lap tires, so he is right where he was at about his longest run on his tires, because he's only pitted once for tires.
It's a good point, but somehow Jose is catching Chris. I don't know if this is by design from Chris Rivera. I mean, he was about 6.5 seconds in front of Jose, but now only 5.8. I mean, Jose's catching him, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think that's just Chris, kind of just I'm on a Sunday drive or a Saturday drive here tonight.
I think Jose's just running from Mr. Mullins.
He's been successful in doing that.
Running from Randy. The 43 Paul Osen, another visit down pit road.
And it looks like we were talking about Kenny Powell getting by Kendall LeBron. I think that's getting ready to happen very, very soon.
I do believe you are right on the money.
Yeah, he's going to pass him this lap here and move up to 5th.
Randy Mullins now having just 6 laps to go before he gets to pick up another position.
Love this track, though. I mean, you see the brake lights, or I should, the brake rotors glowing red. Tell you, that's a feat of engineering to see, and even in real life, in real life mostly, that these brakes can get up to some 2,000-3,000 degrees. They get really, really hot, Big Al, and it's just something, a feat of engineering to be able to make something that can stand up to that kind of heat.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to your misstep when you said the CD's brake lights, and I'm gonna just leave it at that, because you said that on this broadcast. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, the brakes do, I'd say, produce light, right?
CD's brake lights.
They do glow almost like a neon, especially at nighttime. But here we go, verging on, I do believe, 22 laps to go. Chris Rivera now with just under 5 seconds on Jose. So Jose is catching him quite quickly. I'm wondering what the reason for that is. I think it's just, I don't know. I think Chris is I think Chris is just toying. I think he's like giving Jose false hope in a way.
Yeah, I think he's just chilling, man. He's just kind of saving his tires, saving his equipment. No sense of just running it into the ground at this point.
See, Jose has caught up, I do believe, to Kenny Powell. Of course, Powell going to go to the top side. Let him go. And I do believe Randy Mullins in a lap will be able to move up to the 6th spot and get Kendall LeBron's position. So definitely a lot to be said about Randy. Glad to see him not giving up. But now under 20 laps to go. 18 next time by. Chris Rivera in the lead, about 4.2 seconds now in front of Jose Acosta. Lap time wise, Jose was a little under, actually a little over a tenth faster last time than Rivera. Almost 2/10 to be exact. Paul Olson was faster than everybody.
Yeah, Olsen back off of pit road now.
Yeah, definitely still impressed, very much so, with that 43 here tonight.
Randy Mullins has now made his way up to 6th place, moving Kendall LeBron down to his final resting spot, where he shall finish 7th. 16 laps to go before Chris Rivera once again pulls himself up to be a 7-time winner. Actually be an 8-time winner, Brian, out of 9 races.
Yeah, he is, of course, this is not too surprising, just considering we talked about this before in the ISCA Hall of Fame. Chris Rivera is definitely the biggest. I mean, he's had the most championships in this Saturday series. And we always beg the question to see him go race on Thursday. I'd love to see that one day. If his work schedule would change and permit that, that would be awesome.
Well, hey, let's see if we can make that happen. Hey, if you're Chris Rivera's employer and you're currently listening to this broadcast, Brian, Britt, and Big Al are submitting a request for a schedule change, by which that would allow Chris Rivera to participate in our regularly scheduled Thursday night events. Thank you for your consideration, as well as your participation in this matter.
100%.
Sign it, Brian.
Oh, I'm signing it. It's signed.
Right.
Sign
Write
and send.
that shit up. Write that shit up. Let's go.
It's on the way. I do reach to you in this unfortunate time. Sincerely yours, Brian Britt.
Yeah, the 54, though, definitely has stepped on something besides the accelerator, as he is slowly starting to list the wrong direction. You know, or maybe it goes back to what you were saying. Maybe Jose's just speeding up.
Maybe Jose was saving tires the whole time. I mean, he is on quite substantial older tires in the majority of the field at the moment. As we come now to 10 laps to go, only about 3 seconds separate Jose and Chris at the moment. You see Gary Adamson now going yet another lap down. He is now 9 laps down, but still is in third, and I don't believe he is going to change position.
10 laps to go.
Yep, only 3 seconds now between the first and second spot. Everybody else is multiple laps down. Chris Rivera, though, coming now to 8 laps to go. You can see that checkered flag, but it ain't over until it's over. As you always say, you got to run all the laps, right?
Yes, sir.
What a race, though, from Chris Rivera. As we see, of course, Jose still catching up. Oh, Randy Mullins coming down pit road. I think he might be calling it quits here after securing that 6th spot.
If I was him,
If you were him, you'd what?
I'd go back out there and finish the race.
Just to say you did not quit, no DNQs, or did not finish for you.
Yeah, it's kind of our motto.
Coming up now to 5 to go for Chris Rivera. He is possibly going to come up on Kenny Powell, but I think Powell might be safe here. Just a handful of laps, and Chris Rivera will call himself the victor here at Martinsville. He's won at multiple different racetracks, including Bristol Dirt. He's won at road courses. He's won at all sorts of tracks, Big Al.
Yeah, they got us locked up here on the East Coast for just a couple of races here. Looks like we'll be kind of ending it up with Talladega. We've been to Bristol, we've been to Richmond. Now we've been to Martinsville. We don't forget Coda, which is out in Texas.
Yep, Circuit of the Americas, and eventually we're going to probably head to the Chicago Street Course. Imagine that.
We were at Atlanta.
There goes Kenny Powell. He's down on pit road. Looks like he's going to be calling it quits here with now 2 laps to go when Chris crosses the line.
Pump it up, Chris.
Definitely going to be one to celebrate here as he comes close to now the white flag. And, of course, once the white flag is out, the next flag will end it. And there it is, white flag out. And I bet a lot of these guys are wore out. I could definitely imagine Chris Severa being quite wore out at the moment. Oh, into the wall. He's going to pull a Chastain for the final corner. Look at that. That was awesome. I got to give it to him. That was so cool. Let's take a replay on that. That was cool.
Should we disqualify him? That's an illegal move.
It very much is, but let's take a look at it here. Look at that. That was cool. I got to give it to him. That was neat. It is an illegal move, though. He is disqualified. Chris Severa, your winner here tonight. Jose Acosta, second place. Gary Adamson comes in third, 9 laps down. Paul Olson in fourth, 25 laps down. Kenny Powell in fifth, 82 laps down. Randy Mullins in sixth, 94 laps down. Kendall Levrona, 105 laps down in seventh. Darren Mullins, 132 laps down in eighth. And that will round out our 8-car field. Now's the time, I think, to step away and pay some more attention to our sponsors. But let's watch Chris Severa burn it down for just a moment.
Hey everybody, my name is Warren Maddox. I am the president of Ultimate Experience Outdoors. Our mission, we are dedicated to taking veterans, first responders, youth, and Gold Star family members on outdoor excursions across the country.
Support for our mission has many forms, from camp cooks to the great storytellers, some buddies with the band, maybe you just want to build a campfire and sit around and listen. Nothing goes unnoticed.
Camaraderie is reborn. The acceptance among the men and women that took an oath.
Whether it was decades ago or recently renewed, but never forgot.
If you feel like you could help us, please visit our website, www.uxonation.org.
There, you can register to hunt, sign up to sponsor an event, or even donate to us so we can continue to execute our mission.
Oh my gosh, I feel talking, bro. We get a hug. What have you done, Jim?
We need your help to hold the line once again.
Ow. Ew. Ow. Ew.
Want relief from tough pain without the tough taste? Try Goody's Cool Orange. Goody's fast, Goody's delicious. Because pain relief shouldn't be a pain to take. Goody's flavors, taking the pain out of pain relief.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. And what a race it was here. Of course, first up, we were going to talk to Gary Adamson, but do not see him. So I do believe we're going to talk. We'll go ahead and start off with Big Al with Jose Acosta.
Jose Acosta, Big Al up in the booth, man. First off, congratulations to you for bringing it home here in P2. You had a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for, adversity tonight, but you were actually able to muster through that and get a solid run, man. So what do you contribute that to here?
I don't know, man. I'm just going around in circles. That's what I felt tonight.
Well, yeah, it is kind of repetitive, but, aside from that drone, there was a lot of contact going on this racetrack. We actually ended this thing with 10 cautions. You yourself were really no stranger to adversity as well, or conflict. So a lot of tensions out there. You want to speak on any of those matters?
It's Martinsville, man. I mean, you you get a little bit uncomfortable when somebody is trying to pass you. You get uncomfortable when you're in the high side. You get uncomfortable when you're faster than the car in front of you. I mean, you get uncomfortable so easy here, and that's why a lot of people have short temps. So you know that has
Yeah.
to that's actually contribute a lot to the situation and the track. So it's one of those things. Bristol, Martinsville, it just those places that you know everybody has short tempers.
Yeah, Bristol, Martinsville, both tracks literally about the same distance. Martinsville being the shortest track on the schedule. But here's the funny thing about that: next week we're headed to the longest track on the schedule as far as ovals are concerned. That's going to be a little bit of a different track. So, what are you thinking about this new damage model specifically, the tire wear, and next week's bumping and grinding at Talladega?
Um, to be honest, I just need to be careful with like my settings and stuff like that. Because last Thursday night, my settings and my steering wheel, I was kind of like racing halfway of the race with my steering wheel sideways, and it was because I let my 8-year-old race over here in iRacing. I'm kind of like, letting him race a little bit. And then today I was racing with no spotter. I got a new headset, um, and somehow I can't hear no spotter for some reason. So those little things. If I fix them before during the race, I guess we're gonna be okay in the super speedway of Talladega. Is it Talladega, right? You said?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Talladega.
So with the Pandoretta Racing Team, looks like you're the only surviving member. You got a lot of weight on your shoulders. You got any plans of recruiting more members to that team? And what does your involvement with that team look like here in the ISCA going forward?
Man, yeah, everything kind of like is a little bit on hold. I'm actually dedicating a lot of my time to my small business that I started like a month and a half ago, 2 months. Selling shirts basically and hats, and it's taking a lot of my time. Basically, I get off from work and then I had to put a lot of time on that, and it's and it has taken a lot of time from practicing. Um, but once I get into a rhythm, into doing things and how to manage my time, I'm pretty sure I can come back and also like talk to other people to come back and get everything rolling again.
Well, Roger, that congratulations to you for starting your small business, man, and congratulations for your second place finish here tonight. Looking forward to seeing what the Panda Racer Racing Team, as well as specifically as Jose Acosta, has for us in store next week. Before we let you go, Jose, who you shouting out tonight for your second place finish?
I'm gonna thank John Deere, obviously Pandora Racing Team, you guys in the booth for the broadcast, and Kenny for creating the league and supporting everybody over here too. Because it's not easy what he does.
Well, Roger that, sir. Once again, congratulations. And as I always say, don't party too hard.
Yeah, thanks.
Alrighty, that was Jose Acosta, of course, our second place finisher. Managed to lead 15 laps here, started in 6th. Definitely a good job for him. Chris Severa going to be next up. Pulled that insane Ross Chastain move there at the end of the race and shows that it really does work in the sim as well. Chris, of course, you led 208 laps here tonight. Just a dominant finish here for you tonight. I mean, of course, that makes, I do believe, your 7th or 8th win here for the Super Cup season and a 4th for the Cup season. Definitely has been a just dominant season for you so far. How you feeling?
Yeah, we're worn out after that one. It was it was a good run all around. The car was great. We got a little worried there at the end. Kind of used up a bit of the right front, so we were a little worried. Had the super save there towards the end, and luckily we were able to get it cooled back off to push in the last few laps there to keep that lead and get it in victory lane.
You definitely did exactly that for sure. Fantastic performance. You led the majority of the race here. I mean, coming into tonight's race, were you concerned at all? Did you feel like you had a good car underneath you?
Yeah, I was. I didn't get to do much time this week. Didn't really get to run many A opens, so I was only like ghosting with a few people while they ran their A opens, and compared to some people, it was just I didn't really think I had anything. It's not really my best track, but we were able to figure out a few things with this track and this new tire model. The tire was a bit more responsive to little changes that I wanted to do, and we were able to figure things out throughout the course of the run in the first half of the race there to figure out how to drive that thing off the corner and not scrub it too much on entry. And yeah, ultimately it was very well balanced. If we had more fuel in it at the end, I don't think I would have gotten as tight as I did, but ultimately we still brought it home. So yeah, feeling good.
Yeah, I definitely should feel good about what you were able to do here. Of course, next week a much different track. Talladega going to be on the schedule. 2.66 miles of high speed action. How you feeling about that? I mean, usually Talladega can be somewhat of a gamble.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. Excuse me. All we need is like one or two cars to work with us, and should be able to get up to the front as long as I know me and Kendall, the last couple plate tracks we've been to, we've had a pretty good connection network-wise and able to make that work. So, yeah, as long as we're able to find someone who we can effectively push, we'll be there.
All right. Well, we definitely look forward to seeing it. Chris, before we let you go, congratulations on the win. Who can we give a shout out to after your big win here tonight?
Yeah, 3F Racing, Gas and Go Racing, you guys up in the booth as always. Yeah, I think that's everyone.
All righty. Well, thanks for your time, Chris, and we'll see you next week, bud.
Appreciate it, guys. See you.
All righty, that was Chris Severa, our winner here for the Goodies 250. I'll tell you what, a lot of these guys probably going to need some goodies after this one. I mean, they definitely probably got some body aches that are definitely going to be necessary for sure, but definitely Martinsville never disappoints. This is definitely a battle of a racetrack that a lot of drivers, I'd say, lost their battle, but we did see a lot of drivers as well that showed, a lot of fortitude, I'd say determination, and, able to stay in the fight. And, of course, they were multiple laps down, but still stuck with it. Of course, big shout out to Gary Adamson, top 3 finish, 3rd place, not a bad day at all. Paul Olson, 4th place. Of course, we saw Kenny Powell had a lot of problems, but still was able to get back out there and fought his way up to that 5th place position. So definitely proud of all those guys for sticking with it. Of course, Randy Mullins as well, getting back into the car and able to secure that 6th place. But any final thoughts there, Big Al?
Well, we unloaded them. We raced them. We wrecked them. Now let's load them up and let's do it again. Reset. We'll see you next week.
100%. Definitely going to be a lot of work for the crews to repair these cars for Talladega. But we definitely appreciate everybody out there tuning in. Of course, make sure you tune in on Thursday. We will be at Big Bad Talladega for the first time, and looking forward to that for sure, as we're going to have definitely quite a field there for sure. A lot of drivers going to be pushing and working together. Can't wait to see what that looks like with the new damage model and things of that nature. Of course, these cars have been tough in the past, but looks like that has not been the case here as of late. So I'm curious to see what we're going to see there for sure. Of course, the broadcast will be about 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Race will go green a little after 9:30. Of course, same thing on Saturday. Definitely looking forward to that as well. So make sure you tune in. And, of course, if you want to join the action out here, you definitely like what you see, make sure to look up the iRacing Stock Car Association on the league directory. Shoot Kenny Powell a application there. Or you can even message him on Facebook or on iRacing. And we definitely hope to hear from you soon. And thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next time.